Good evening. My name is Teresa Ruth Howard. I'm the founder of Mob Ballet, Memoirs of Blacks in Ballet, and I am delighted to welcome you here to the Claw Studio here at the Royal Ballet and Opera House for this evening's Insight, which features the program Legacy, which is a new program that features Black and Brown ballet artists. And it opens at the end of this month in the Linbury Theatre. Now, as the founder of a digital archive, I am highly interested in history, and so this being Black History Month in the UK, I've decided that I would join you in telling you a little bit about your history. So, in the 80s in the UK, there was racial tension and a little bit of strife and inequity. And so a gentleman by the name of Akaiba Adai Sebo, who was a part of the General Council, decided that he would create something called Black History Month in the vein of the US Black History Month that takes place in February. He chose October because it aligned with the African harvest. So the first Black History Month was in 1987. His intention was to enlighten and challenge racial prejudice through the recognition of Black contributions in British society, which had been omitted or marginalized in the areas of art, science, education, and to show that Black people actually contributed to British society. It was designed to create educational awareness and show the rich history of Black people, both in the UK and globally, focusing on the African diaspora. Now, this is important because, I don't know if you know this, but on the African continent, there is more diversity in genetics and phenotypes than in any other place in the world. So we are not a monolith, and this is really important to know, and you'll see some of that later. I'm gonna highlight that. The hope was to lift up the beauty and the value of Black people and amplify our culture and history and hopefully foster community cohesion. So these principles that were present in the initial idea of Black History Month are also the principles that Joe Sissons built into the Legacy program. The Legacy Gala is an evening centering the great Black and Brown artistry that exists inside the UK, but spans the diaspora. We'll see the artistry, the brilliance, and the honor of these profound contributions that these artists have made, and it shows that Black dancers are not unicorns. So legacy is a very powerful word. I'm a woman who loves words, and I think their definitions are important because they are amorphous and they have a mutability about them. And coming from a Black people, who can twist the meaning of a word, changing its molecular structure and giving us a whole new lexicon that goes global, definitions become very important. So a legacy is something that is left behind to be passed on. There are many forms of legacy. They can be in the form of property, or it could be art, an artistic legacy. An artistic legacy is the lasting impact or influence that an artist, creator, or professional leaves behind through their contributions. So in this curation of this program, we are offered the opportunity to bear witness to this generation of Black ballet stars who will be charting their own paths while carrying the torches of their ancestors, like that of George Washington Smith. Now, he was a mixed man who danced the premiere of Giselle in 1846 in Boston. Or what about Maria Skorzuk, who was a Black Russian woman who joined the Russian Imperial Ballet in 1890 and danced the premiere of Petipa's Sleeping Beauty? Or Arthur Mitchell, who was the first Black ballet dancer in New York City Ballet in 1950 and then founded Dance Theater of Harlem in 1969. Or what about the dynamic duo of Houston Ballet, Lauren Anderson and Carlos Acosta? And he would later come here to this house and become a star. So we are not unicorns. Tonight, you will get a behind-the-scenes look, a sneak peek of these incredible artists. But before we do that, I'd like to introduce the co-curators of Legacy Gala, the artistic director of the Royal Ballet, Kevin O'Hare, and the principal dancer, Joseph Sissons. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for this incredible program. Joe, can you tell me a little bit about how this came about? What was your originating thought?
I think for me, I've had the most amazing career at the Royal Ballet, but I also feel like there was a reckoning that definitely happened with a lot of us, not just about race, but within 2020 and COVID and the pandemic. And we'd had some time to kind of sit and think about the kind of contributions that we make to the world. And I kind of woke up to the fact that ballet wasn't the blackest space in the world at this point in time, or I didn't feel as such, that it was so welcome. And for me, I had an amazing conversation with Kevin, because we kind of sat down and I was like, this is how I'm willing to show up in the organization. I want to wear my hair like this. I want to be expressive. I want to own my roots as such. And a part of this program was me kind of sat down and feeling like that the kids watching ballet didn't have enough saturation of dancers of color on a stage. Like you say, we aren't unicorns, but sometimes within ballet companies, there's like 6 of us out of 100, and just because of the way the structure has been built, and unfortunately we're a little bit behind, ballet is a little bit behind other art forms in the sense that there weren't enough of us to like saturate on stage, and for there to be 60 kids that go, oh my God, like that one looks like me, that one doesn't quite look like me, but that one has my hair. Like, and for me it was about the kids, and it was about our audiences and my community. And it's very important for me as a principal dancer of the Royal Ballet to feel like the Royal Ballet welcomes my community. And the program for me is a love letter, not only to the dancers that you'll see today who have inspired me for my entire career, and I wouldn't be here without just looking at a clip of them. And secondly, I don't know, it's a love letter to us as brown people, because we belong, and we belong in numbers, not just one at a time.
All right. I love that. Yes. Kevin, this is the first of its kind. I said the first because, just saying. When Joseph comes to you and says, I have this idea, what makes you say yes?
Well, I think the fact that he came to me with the idea is the really important thing, because just as he's just so eloquently said, you know, it's really, it's coming from his beliefs and what he believes ballet could do, and for younger people within the community, his community and the wider community. And so it just seemed like absolutely the right thing to do. And we have been having those conversations, and we have been talking about what we can do to make ourselves more visible, and what we do in this building and in the across the country. And so this, it just felt like a combination of all the conversations and all the things we've been doing. This felt like a moment we put a marker in the sand and say, this is where we are now.
So Joe, first of all, congratulations on your promotion. You can say it as a principal dancer. Yes.
I was enjoying hearing the introduction saying principal dancer.
Right.
Yeah,
it's a great.
So you've assembled this incredible cast. This is an embarrassment of riches. Talk to me about some of the artists that you chose, and perhaps why you chose them or what they'll be dancing.
So we reached out to lots of artists all around the world. But for me, it was, everyone that we reached out, there was like a list of like 30 as well. But they were all people that had personally inspired me in my journey. And not to put myself at the center of this, but like the idea of legacy, I feel like the legacy of them. Like we'll see Celine, and she's been dancing within BRB for years, and I just remember seeing her dance and I think in little ways she's inspired me in lots of factors within my career. And so that kind of what was like the list of dancers came up from that. We've got incredible companies involved. I mean, we've got like our youngest dancers from the Royal Opera, from the Royal Ballet and Opera. And I will see them later on, and to see them starting their journeys in a different place than I did is really special for me. We've got incredible dancers from English National Ballet, Birmingham Royal Ballet you'll see today. We've got Berlin Staatsopera. I'm so excited to have Alvin Ailey joining us for a special little, we'll see. So yeah, again, an embarrassment of riches of just, I can't believe they said yes. Like, I'm so honored that they are giving their time and energy to a program that just a 26-year-old went into a room and said to a director, do you think this is a good idea? And then he went, absolutely. So for them to do that, I feel honored.
But it's also an incredible opportunity because you're talking about dancers who have been dancing a long time in their own spaces, and the idea of coming into one space and dancing with people who look like you, that you've been watching, that's an incredible opportunity. So I can only imagine that, I know it was logistically probably difficult, but you know, you couldn't go wrong. You were shooting into a sea of beauty. So as I mentioned in my opening, the premise behind Black History Month was about recognition, education, trying to combat racism. In this program, right, there is a silent sort of way that will be projected this way. But the Royal Ballet has really done a lot of work internally prior to COVID and the BLM, flashpoint. How did that work get you to this place? And I think, Kevin, can we start with you in talking about some of the things that happen internally that allow this beautiful arc of learning that now we can actually see, like can be presented to the world in a way? Well,
it's one of the few good things that came out of COVID, really, and also the tragedy that happened in America, that we were able to focus on that. And we actually had great help from you as well, coming in and helping, consulting with the company. But I think the question that was really important for us was really what does it feel like for a dancer, a 21st century dancer in a ballet company today, a classical ballet company. And we wanted to help them and help us find a way for that to feel like the best place possible for them to be. So whether we're talking about hair, whether we're talking about shoes and tights, and even the stories that we tell on stage and how we tell them. And I think that is what's been brilliant about the coming together of all these different conversations that really, I hope and believe that we are in a better place than we were 5 years ago, and hopefully that will continue.
Things can roll back and things can slow down, but I haven't yet seen them roll back to zero or below zero. So sometimes, like all of the work that was done, it will stand and you have to hold on to. Yeah. And I think that a program like Legacy and the work that goes into it behind the scenes is just evidence that work is real.
Yeah, that's what was another reason for saying yes to Joseph, was we had done that work, and as you say, we then got back into our season and fully, we're so busy all the time with our repertoire, so it felt like that moment to keep that trajectory going forward, and of course it's not, we do want to celebrate this Black History Month, and across that time, there's amazing things happening. Like we have also on the main stage, we have a premiere by Joseph Tunga, who's been working with us. So that's a really exciting moment for us. We have a fantastic exhibition downstairs. But then moving on into the rest of the season, we have the brilliant Ballet Black coming, who've done such fantastic work in Britain for so many dancers. And to have them here, we're always really proud when they come and bring a different audience and different people coming to watch their work as well.
Thank you both. We are going to get on with our program because there's so much beauty to be taken in. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank
you. Next, we'll be joined by two dancers who will be performing in the Legacy Gala from the Birmingham Royal Ballet, principal dancer Celine Giddens and soloist Yaseline Hodel Bello. Please join me in welcoming. Come. Good evening. So I promised that I was going to center on identity, and so I have my first question is for Celine. You are a Trini-born, Canadian-raised woman who's now dancing in the UK. How has that arc impacted you and informed you as a woman and as an artist?
Yeah, I think that's a really good question, because I think for me, in terms of living in the Caribbean, living in Canada, and then now living in the United Kingdom, I've actually collected quite a lot of passports. But no, it's been a wonderful experience for myself to absorb cultures and to be more understanding of people, you know, and how their background has shaped them. And upon coming to the UK, I'd never actually danced in the United Kingdom. So the first time I had performed here was when I did what was then called the Jeannet International Ballet Competition in 2005. It's now called the Fontaine. And that was the first time I danced in the United Kingdom. So that for me was the first opening door to my future career. And funnily enough, my director at the time, when I joined BRB, Sir David Bentley, he was watching my performance at the Jeannet. So, you know, they always say the ballet world is so small, and it is, and it's linked together. And so my journey has sort of, yeah, it's continuing, and it's evolving, and I'm growing, yep.
So tonight, you're going to give us a little sample of the White Swan pas de deux.
Yes.
You've danced this many. When was the first time that you danced this?
The first time that I danced this was in 2012 when I debuted Sir Peter Wright's version, and became also the first mixed-race female ballet dancer to perform that role in the United Kingdom. Yes.
So, in coming back to it, how, as an artist, artistically, every time you approach it, what do you do to find something new or open the role up, whether that's technical or artistically?
Yeah, it's something that happens especially when you're principal dancer and these performances and these ballets come back ever so often. Something that really rings true to me is that what Marion Tate said to me, that every time a ballet comes back, you need to find something different to work on, something new that you will bring to the stage. So this time is the first time I'm actually doing this role with Yaciel. I've performed this role with Tyrone Singleton many times, and also Brandon Lawrence many times. So it's a new partnership as well. So that's really exciting, and that's something that we can do together as a team, isn't it?
Yeah. And Yaciel, ¿qué tal? Tell me, what is your dream ballet role?
Okay, first I want to say sorry for my English. I know it's not too good, but I can try. I can say some ballet. Swan Lake, I like Swan Lake because when I was little, I saw a lot of video for this ballet, the same with Don Q. So yeah, I really want to do another ballet. But yeah, Swan Lake is, I like Swan Lake. So.
Well, since you like it so much, let's go into rehearsal. Let's see a bit. Let me relieve you from these, and I'm going to release you to perform or rehearse with repetiteur Kit Holder, and you'll be accompanied by Michael Panters and Mrs. Celine Gittens and Yaciel Hodelin Bello from the Birmingham Royal Ballet.
Okay. That's loud. Are we ready? So we're going to start halfway through because we've rehearsed the first half already. So we're going to pick up from that drape lift coming across the front. Let's just start, and we'll stop as we need. Okay, that's a really good place to stop. Thank you, Michael. Thank you. Lovely. Have your breath. I want to talk about, so this pas de deux is such a huge journey from the beginning of the pas de deux to the end. It's a narrative ballet, but this is where the story of you two is really told. So the pivotal moment here, when she goes away, I'm interested to know for you, what are you thinking about at that point? What's the reason why you're disappearing, running away from him?
I think at this moment she's trying to escape back home. That's where she's come from. So.
Okay, so because she's been held, she's been contained within this spell. We need to see something in the chest, maybe from the back, that's compelling you to go this way. You can't help it, and then something here changes. Why do you stop? Is it because he stopped you, or is it something internal there? And the only vehicle you've got to show that is your back. We can't do it with the face. So how do we see that from you here? Something's changed. There he is, yeah, exactly. So there's this moment of stillness or slowing down, and then you turn around. And also, by that point, you've given up. You've stopped her, and you realize there's nothing else you can do. It's not up to you. So you're also telling the story, because the audience might have chosen to look at you at that point, not her, yeah? So then, this is the pivotal point now, where everything changes. Because the bit that we haven't done of the pas de deux, she's terrified, she's skittish, she doesn't know if she can trust this man, she thinks he looks great, she's not sure. So we've seen all of that skittishness and slight panic in your body. Here, we see a change. You're willingly coming to him. Yeah. So now, coming into these wraps, you have a little more confidence with her. Just come. So as you come into... I've skipped a bit out. Sorry, I'm going into these wraps here. So you have more confidence now. So you're still very, very gentle with her, but as you're coming here, your wrist, you think, and she's willing. So we see this. And then we'll set one up for later where it happens again slightly differently. Michael, can we pick up just from that restart when she comes back and she ducks under? Brilliant, thank you. And now you're content to be held. Lovely. Michael, you're wonderful. Thank you. I'm going to say a couple of things. I felt awful stopping you, so I let you run. So when you come back to this one, I'm interested to know when you wrap here, because you look to the hand, and for me it looks like you're wanting him to embrace you again. Is that where you're coming from with that?
I'm thinking of escaping a bit quicker.
But do you truly want to escape, or do you want him to stop you escaping? Yeah. It's something to do with the eyes for me, that you're looking at it this time, like, embrace me, yeah. And the other part I wanted to just talk about is at the end, when you've had this pull away and we're not really sure that you truly want to escape him. I feel more at this point that you're trying to bring him away from what you were trying to avoid in that corner earlier. When you come back, we see this beautiful moment where you're content to be with him and you really give him the hand. And you feel safe with him to give him the hand. Yeah. And then there's this beautiful contrast now with the speed of the feet, yeah. And really slow, adagio turn. Beautiful. And then this contrast, quick feet. And the calmness in the upper body, lovely. Yeah, it's gorgeous. You can hear a pin drop here. Yeah, there's something really beautiful there. That it's very, very simple. And there's not a lot happening, but this quality and calmness and contentment, a kind of serenity and comfort, a sense of comfort in this movement, and to be happy to take his hand. But then this, the emotion that comes through that fluttering foot is really, really a beautiful thing. And yeah, it's very, very beautiful. Actually, I learned this tip from the Royal Ballet's own Zinaida Janowski, who's talking about this beating heart idea in here. And I think that reads really beautifully, and it completes that journey that you've taken the audience on in this part of the. Remember, these guys in the story, they met about 6.5 minutes ago. and we have this, it's about 5.5, 6 minutes, depending on who's conducting. To go on this whole journey of seeing her from this terrified creature who's been contained and in a bad place, and her savior is here. Yeah, very much so, very much so. Can I see the very last turn, your multiple turns, before you do your coupe? Yeah, just the last one. So the contrast here is that it's multiples, but it still has to be serene. Gorgeous. So it's to do with taking that left hand, Yaciel. There we are. And up. And delay the head, delay the head. Yeah. So if you can just delay the head as you come up, and everything else goes forward, and it's like the head is the last thing that, exactly, and it's echoed into the arm. Yeah. Yes, gorgeous, gorgeous. Should we do something again? Have we got time? Can we do something? Yes, excellent. Can we go from ducking under the arm again after? Yeah. You know where I am there, Michael? Thank you. Take him with you, take him with you. Lovely. It's lovely every time. Really lovely. Really lovely.
Thank you so much. Absolutely beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, Kit. Thank you, Michael. So now I will be joined by, we're going to learn a little bit more about the different aspects of the Legacy project. It's more than just a performance. So joining me will be Dr. Sandy Bourne of Black British Ballet, Ruby Wolk from the head of the Ballet for Learning and Participation Department here at the Royal Ballet and Opera, and choreographer Liam Francis. So, Dr. Bourne, yes. I would like to start with you. I want to first thank you for your work and your research. It's much needed, and thank you so much. What struck me about the exhibition was that it really was, it shows the diasporic aspect of ballet, and specifically ballet in Britain. Can you tell me a little bit about what you found?
Yes, regarding that, so the history of Black British Ballet is actually British history. And looking at the dancers from the collection from downstairs, if you look at the dancers, they come from former colonies of South Africa and the Caribbean. So many of those dancers came to the UK, trained ballet, and were denied work. So they went to Europe, or they went to the United States, and they joined companies like the Dancers of Harlem or Alvin Ailey. And then later on in the 80s, then they came back to the UK, and then they were actually employed within some of the major ballet companies. So that's some. Yeah.
Thank you. Ruby, can you tell us a little bit about the Black Generation's performances and the different aspects that are a part of that?
Yeah, sure. So Black Generations is happening on the 26th of October, the weekend before Legacy opens in the Linbury Theatre. And it's an opportunity to celebrate a bit of the past, the present and the future generations. And my job involves running our outreach talent development programs, so Chance to Dance and Chance to Dance Connect, which are looking for the next generation of dancers, of ballet talent, and really opening the doors that have been closed and the additional barriers that exist. So Black Generations is an opportunity to not only look back at what that history is of Black British Ballet, and Sandy will be presenting some of that for us on the 26th of October, but also looking at what's happening now. So we're lucky enough to have Precious Adams and Ariel Smith, who you're going to see here as well, come and rehearse a bit of their piece for Legacy. And then Liam's new commission is really celebrating the legacy of Chance to Dance, because we've got a cast of 3 dancers who started their dancing journey and are now professional dancers, and along with a cast of 3 dancers from Chance to Dance Connect. So it's that really wonderful opportunity to go, here's the next generation.
Okay, so can we watch the trailer for
Chance to Dance
for
Connect? Yes. This is not for Black Generations, but it's the Chance to Dance Connect programme. It's what we did last year in the summer.
Awesome.
My experience has been amazing. I want to be a ballet dancer, especially with this company.
I get a chance to dance with other teachers.
Performing at the Royal Opera House is almost like a dream. It's really exciting.
Dance to Dance Connect is focused on young people who have an interest in becoming a professional ballet dancer from global majority heritage.
Watching the teachers do this stuff is just amazing.
And the reason that we've done that is to understand how we can prepare an inclusive space and how we can break down barriers to the art form for young people.
They're working on their craft, they're chiseling their own artistic input to show more people that look like me.
From the dramaturgy to the ballet, to the repertoire, to the yoga, the ballet history through the choreography is giving those young kids an opportunity to engage in this art form of ballet.
Liam, you have choreographed a bespoke work for Black generations. Can you tell me either a little bit about your choreographic voice or what brought you to choreography in the first place?
What brought me to choreography or to this choreography?
To choreography in general, to choreograph.
Yes, I can. Just a desire to dance. Like, I love making steps, and I love the game of trying to work out like how I can best express myself with this tool that I have, that is my body, and that kind of the challenge and the game of working out what those pieces look like and then sharing that with other people and then trying to negotiate how their information and their desire to express themselves can collaborate with mine, and we can create something that feels like an honest kind of gift or idea from us to other people.
And can you tell us a little bit about the piece that you choreographed for this program?
Yes. So for this program, I went to see an exhibition at the South Bank Centre by Tavares Strachan called There Is Light Somewhere, and there was an encyclopedia in there called the Encyclopedia of Invisibility, and it's filled of thousands of entries focused on historically marginalized people, places, or events. And one entry that I found was about Robert Lawrence, who was the first Black astronaut, and I realized that I didn't know this. And then I did some more research, and in 2020, NASA named 27 asteroids after Black people who had made significant contributions towards space exploration. And the work is about that. Like, I just loved how like hopeful and slightly abstract and also narrative this idea is of these 27 asteroids like whizzing around the asteroid belt named after people of color who have made a significant contribution to space exploration. And the work is us exploring that in abstract form, narrative form, and the hopefulness of it.
Wow, I was not expecting that.
I wasn't either. It just came to me when I was at the exhibition. And I was like, I know what I have to do. Yeah.
To that point, Sandy, this history, our history, is oftentimes not documented, and it's very difficult to uncover. It's very difficult to find. Can you tell me a little bit about your research and some of your experience about bringing this to light?
So when I trained as a dancer, I found there wasn't many dancers, of colour or Black dancers. And so there was actually a time that Arthur Mitchell came to the UK, and he said, all the dancers from all the schools, you can go to the Colosseum. So we all descended, and there was like 200 of us on the stage. It was magical. So that's the first time I've seen so many Black dancers in one space. And then later on, when I decided to do my research, I couldn't find many. So I had to go back to the resources of people that I'd trained with. And they told me about somebody else, and somebody else, and somebody else, and somebody else. And hence, we've got the exhibition downstairs. But there's still people out there that we don't know about that still need to be documented.
And so, Ruby, can you tell me a little bit about, you mentioned that Dr. Bourne will be presenting in that program. Mm-hmm. Tell me a little bit about the arc of what that program is.
Yeah, sure. So really it was about looking past, present and future to look at what are the hidden histories, what's this strand of British history that we need to know more about, that we need to give a platform to. And then looking at the process of creating work in the present that's going to be happening in the Linbury Theatre in a few days after that. And then looking forwards to the next generation in Liam's piece, looking at what's the talent on the horizon coming.
Okay, I have a question. have the dancers seen the exhibition? Or do they know about this history?
The exhibition that Liam saw,
Well,
or the one downstairs?
The one that's downstairs, or the exhibition, in the way that they are dancing, they're part of this arc, but do they know, or will that be revealed to them?
I don't think they've seen it yet, have they?
No, they haven't seen it yet.
But they will.
Yeah.
Very interesting. I wonder how that will impact what they present on stage, because there's one thing to be standing in your space, and then there's another thing to know that you are actually walking in footsteps.
Yeah, I think that's a really important part of Chance to Dance Connect, actually, and a really lovely way that Liam's piece will bring that together is the older dancers who are professional dancers who started in Chance to Dance back in the 90s. They're dancing on the stage with these younger Connect dancers in this space that has all of this historical bearing around it. And the point of Chance to Dance Connect is really to not only to connect these young people to opportunities to connect with the repertoire, the Royal Ballet, the artists, the history, but also to a community together with each other. So that sense of place in that community is really, really important.
I often say it really, like, there's the saying, we want a seat at the table. And through my learning, when I say the dates that I gave earlier, like 1846, I go, I think we actually might have made the table, right? So you don't necessarily have to ask for a seat at a table that you made, but you have to know that you made it. For you, what does a program like A Legacy, for your work to be on a program that is featuring Black ballet artists, what does that mean for you? Or,
What does it mean? I think there's, as I expressed earlier, like my desire to make work is based on like trying to work out like what my body wants to do and enjoys doing, and sharing that with other people, and to feel like we can do that as a group of like Black dancers, and we're presenting that in a space that is celebrating that, is very different to it feeling in other contexts like it's rebellious, or it's like super like act of activism. It feels like this is just being, which is also activism and is also valid, but it doesn't feel like there's any barrier. It feels more like, oh, this is just us. And that's nice to feel like there's no requirement to like, ask to be at the table. We've just sat down.
It's normalizing
it's
the
nice.
idea that we are in these spaces. We've always been in these spaces.
Yeah.
Thank you all so much for joining me. I am looking forward to the program, and I hope that you will tune in and find it as well. When will that program?
It's on the 26th of October in here in the Claw Studio, and you can get tickets on the website. It's not live streamed; it's a live event.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So next, I will be joined by Precious Adams, who is a soloist with the English National Ballet, and Ariel Smith, who is an international choreographer. Thank you for joining me.
Hi.
Hello. Well, here we are. Shall we start with the same question I asked Celine? So you are an African-American woman who has trained both in the States, in Canada, in Russia, and are now a soloist here in the UK. How has that shaped or impacted you as a woman and as an artist?
Well, having the privilege of being able to train all over the world has definitely influenced me very positively, because I've been able to access ballet culture in several different countries and styles, and culture in the sense of like the social sense of experiencing ballet in different parts of the world, which is it's benefited me massively, I think, in terms of the way I present myself and the energy that I kind of like bring to the studio. That's all I can say. I think it's really helped to make me a dancer who can access lots of different styles, and
Fabulous. Ariel, as a Cuban woman in the ballet world, this is a moment of change that we're experiencing globally, but also in the ballet space. So coming into the ballet space, and you've worked in a number of large companies, is there anything that you are noticing culturally in the space with the dancers or even leadership?
Yeah, I just think the fact that I'm having such an amazing run, which I'm really privileged to have at the moment. I graduated almost a decade ago, and I was saying to Precious earlier that like just the fact that I'm making work, especially with ballet companies, it wasn't something that I saw for myself, but I always wanted. And so for me, that feels like progress, that we're now starting to have more diverse voices in terms of style, but also background, making work on these, you know, iconic ballet companies all around the world, and that's amazing to have that opportunity, because when I was training, it wasn't necessarily happening as often for people.
Do you find that the dancers, I mean, after the reckoning and dancers started speaking and having agency, do you see that showing up in the studio in a different way?
Oh yeah, definitely, and I think it allows a more collaborative process, because, I mean, me and Precious have worked together, and I really use the dancers that I have in front of me. I'm affected by them, and I think they feel that sort of agency in the space more now, and that makes a more creative space, yeah.
Okay, so Precious, this is a question about the power of social media. There is, before we didn't know, we couldn't see. Now you can see everything around you. And you have a really powerful and large social media presence. Like, you are a celebrity on social media. And
I don't know about that.
You're a celebrity to me.
Very modest.
But do you feel that it's created a different sense of representation, community, especially amongst the Black and brown dancers, where you may be dancing, you may be the only one in your company, but you can open your phone and see, you know, a world full of you?
Absolutely. Social media has been transformative for the ballet world as a whole, but especially for Black ballet dancers. Whereas before, you might not have seen many dancers who look like you in prominent positions in any of the like big companies, especially when I was training and growing up before YouTube. I literally just, whatever was on VHS at the library. So it's been transformative, I think, in our ability to connect with each other, empower each other, to build community, which is really, really important anyways, to be able to relate to people. And yeah, it's just been so instrumental in bringing us all together. You can share your successes, you can share your struggles. So it's definitely been hugely empowering, and fostering community amongst Black dancers.
Ariel, what are we going to see?
So we're going to see a solo that I've created on and for Precious. I think I'm going to embarrass her now. We've known each other for a while, but before I got to work with Precious, I was so struck by how at home she feels on stage and just how naturally gifted she is as a performer. And that's kind of the seed that I started with for this solo. And yeah, so that's what we're going to have a look at today.
So shall we let you get at it?
Yeah.
Can I relieve you? Thank you. Precious Adams and Ariel Smith.
Yeah. So, cool. Let's start at the beginning, yeah? So we haven't rehearsed together for a while, so this is very much going to be rehearsal. Great, let's go from the very beginning. Let's just walk it through, talk it through. So coming on stage. Nice, good. And then here, in the context of this space, this is the first time we've actually had audience watching. And I really want you to actually reference the people you can see in this space, like acknowledge, yeah, lovely. Good, and see here, fum, fum, jump, 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 jump. Good, great. Can you, when you do that turn here, can you take your left leg slightly further around just so we see, yeah, we see your back really on that moment. Nice. Yeah, good. Nice. Here. Good. Feed it back. Good, 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 good. Great. See if on that, sorry. Here, in that, really see how low you can scoop from here, from the ground up. Good. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Good. And just that left hand at the bottom. Yes! There we go. That extra pull. Yeah, and when you come into that passe, that left hip, bring that, yeah, just a little bit like string pull. Yes, just eke that little bit more out of it. Nice. Little breath, jump, jump. Good. And here, I always feel like we could get a bit further along, long and low. Yes, see if we can really reach in the context of the space, find that. Yes. Good. Beautiful. Jump, 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 jump. Good, 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 good. When you do that, that's really nice that you're really giving that. But here, let us just see you a little bit. So don't take your focus too low, a bit further. Jump, jump. Yes, good. Good girl. Yeah. Good. Here's a moment to see us. Wow. Nice. Good. Yeah. And that's always slightly, sorry, I keep stopping. Here, this, I think, be late to that rather than early. So here, just hang out in that back bend a little bit longer. Hang out, hang out, hang out. Let it pull you that way into that jump. So that's almost, yeah, gorgeous. Yeah. And again, see if that thread pulls you. Yeah, nice. Jump, jump, jump. This is the bit we always forget. Here, here, yes. And then let it feed you through. Good. Let's just try that much. Let's try that much. Nice and easy into the ground. Nice late night rehearsal. Good. Okay, bear with. So, we'll do a little sound check. Great, okay. Here we are. Good, and really see everyone. Gorgeous.
Swing low, sweet chariot.
Nice crash, good.
Coming for to carry me.
Good girl.
Sweet low, sweet chariot. Coming for to carry me home. I looked over Jordan, and what did I see?
Good.
Coming for to carry me home. A band of angels coming after me. Coming for to carry me home.
Good, 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 good. Nice. Good. Good, good, good. Really nice. Really, really nice. Okay. Great. It's nice to see you dance again. So here, I think even from the beginning, if we're imagining for this, you'll be in a silhouette. So when we first see you, just let your balance slightly take you when you hear that music start. Just slightly start that fall that takes you that way. Yeah, 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 yeah. Good, yeah. Here, great. And this is really nice, carry on. Then when you come to here, it's really hard because it's choreographed, but everything you're doing, make it feel like I'm now deciding to go there. Do you know what I mean? Like it's a spontaneous decision, yeah? So here, ha, and then that takes you Good. What was really great this time is you veered on being later than you normally were, but the timing, you probably felt late, but it was actually the best you've done it timing-wise here. I feel like you can take longer to go slow, slow, and let that progress build up rather than slow, slow, quick, 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 quick. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Slow, slow. Build, 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 build. So it really builds in speed. Yeah. And here, just really trust yourself. Gonna get into that left leg. Yeah. Be bold. I'd rather you be bold and fall over. Yeah. Here. And really get into that left leg. Yes, because then it will pay off. Yeah. See, exactly. Trust yourself here. And here, see if you can, this right arm, just in this context of the room, see if you can see the people on that far diagonal. Really take it further than you think. Yes. Yes, she's working hard. Good, 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 good. Yeah. That's it. Just take it that little bit further. Just here, this was gorgeous, this is gorgeous. Here, this run, take it. Go, 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 go. Like, be like, this space is mine. Own it. Yeah. And then this was nice, you went back. Yeah, this was the timing that you did later than you normally do, but I liked it.
I'm trying to find some
yeah.
Da,
Da, da, da, da. Yeah, we kind of sing it. We don't really count it, we sing it. Yeah, so it was better though. Here, then carry on, there was something funky. Oh, yes, good. On this, try not to go too classical fingers. Try to think more that it's like that kind of breath. Yeah. Circular. That's the word. And here, this was great. Good. I think you can keep that going, Presh. Here. Think lift. I'm lifting. Send it further. Not on your leg, more on your... Yes. Here. And then let that really knock. Ja. This was good. Again, that was it. Here. Sends that leg. Good. Chum. This was nice. I saw you see. That was nice. Oh, yeah, that was a nice balance. Good. Plie. Gorge. Bam, bam, jump. Wow. See. That's nice, yeah. Then here, when you do, what's the transition into that? It's wade it through. Yes. So don't feel the pressure. Don't feel the pressure to get round straight away. I think it's nicer if it's slightly more circular. Yeah. Good. And let that just be jump. I like you're accenting that. That's nice. And then here, this is my main bit here. You've got the most amazing back. So when you do this moment here, think, I've got the most amazing back. Yeah? So, yeah. Back. Yeah. I think, like, even more, like, when you're doing this sort of, like you're going through treacle or something. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Good. And the same thing here. Let that go. Whoops, it's taking me this way. Nice. How do you feel? Can we give it one more go? Is that all right? Mm-hmm. Yeah? Okay. Good, I'm getting the most out of this time. Good. So. Good. Just breathe it in. Yes, gorgeous.
Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home.
Yeah.
Sweet low, sweet chariot, coming.
Yes, good timing, nice. Yes, gorge. so much. Good. Yeah. Really, really nice. Just all of that. It's amazing what you can get out of like 15 minutes of rehearsal. That was so good. It was just that last bit when you did this. It's so much nicer. It feels more naturalistic. Okay. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it just takes it into, the space a bit more. And here, let's just like go into this next section. Ha, ha, jum, 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 jum. Good. So I feel like now, because we've seen a turn sequence to this, I feel like it's like you're warming up into it, which is really nice. So feel like this is like a more established version of what you did previously. So it's really nice that you're open to the space. And then really, again, really try and go for that passé balance at the end. See what happens. Go. She goes. Yes. Yeah, exactly. Gorge. Nice. Good. Yes. And that's lovely because you've just done a really dynamic sequence. And then here, which is actually really challenging, I'm asking you to just be really quiet physically. Just take it through. Good. And then plie, plie, plie. Scoop it up. Nice. Lie on the floor, which is really nice. Good. Lovely. It's so much easier when you've actually got people to look at. Yeah. So exactly, thinking along the space. It's really, really nice. Yeah. Good. Yeah. There, resist the urge to go audience, I think. Think spine, along the spine when you do that back. Yes, there we go. Again, see. What was it we said in that rehearsal? Bowl. Give it a bowl. Yeah, really bowl that arm. Yes. Jump, jump. Nice. Again, see how far you can take that hip. Full. Jump, 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 jump. Oh yeah, this is the thing you found with the arms. Jump, jump. Arms. Yes. Find your own square. Good. Nice. Yeah, try and make that slightly slow. Try not to go too fast into that head. Now really pull. Again, see it? Can I hold your hand? Like, pull it a bit further, yeah, and let that fall, yeah. Okay. Yes, there we go. That's nice. Cool. So, yes, good. Great. Oh, thank you for letting us rehearse.
I'm so sorry.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
I'm sorry. Beautiful. Thank you so much. I hate to interrupt you, but she got a workout.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
Precious Adams, Ariel Smith, thank you so much.
Thank you.
September 10th, the dance world was rocked by the sudden passing of Michaela DePrince, who, right before her death, had reclaimed her birth name, Mabinti. Her life was one of transformation from war child, orphan in Sierra Leone, to ballerina, to international celebrity. Her talent was undeniable, her tenacity unstoppable, and her resilience unmatchable. A legacy is something that is left behind, and it seems so wrong that at 29, we now have to speak about the legacy she leaves behind. Let's take a moment to honor Mabinti.
This is my story. It is one of hard work, suffering, heartache, and loss. It is also one of love, joy, achievement, forgiveness, and daring to dream. Dare to make your talent a part of your dream. Dare to be who you want to be, no matter what obstacles you face. Your past will always be a part of your past, but it does not define you. Dare to use your voice for those who have lost their voice. Dare to make love a part of your life. And I'll dare myself that one day I won't have to say I'm a black ballerina. That one day I can say I'm a ballerina.
And now, if we talk about legacy, legacy is something that is meant to be tended to and carried forward. So it's my pleasure to introduce you to the Royal Ballet's next generation of dancers, Emile Gooding, Blake Smith, Rebecca Stewart, and Casper Lynch, along with the senior artist from Ballet Black, Isabella Corsi. Well, our future is very bright, as we can well see. So, Emile, can you tell me, we just watched, oh my gosh, Mabinti, Michaela, what did she mean to you?
I mean, Michaela, from a young age, has been such a role model for me. Being the first book I really ever read about dance, her story, I mean, touched all of us probably here today. And she's someone who I think really can never be forgotten and should never be forgotten for what she fought through that really must have felt like the impossible. She proved to us all that with willpower, determination, you can strive forward and push and do whatever you feel like you want to do in life. And she really touched me with that to take me to here, where I am today, amongst all these dancers. It's really great.
Beautiful. Isabella, we've talked a bit about being a black dancer in a white space, and you are an artist with Ballet Black, which is a space that is designed for dancers of color. Tell me what your experience or your relationship to ballet and yourself as a black ballet dancer, how has that impacted you?
Well, I'm a black ballet dancer from Brazil, starting from there. And talking about legacy, Casa Pancho, the founder and the artistic director, created Ballet Black 23 years ago. And is a company where 10 years ago, or 11, I mean, it's my season 11 with the company. And I'm super proud to be part of this diversity of dancers in one studio and had a chance to work with many choreographers and making a difference. We are making a difference. How important is to see all those dancers in one space, in a safe space. And I achieved so much with Ballet Black. As a professional ballet dancer, I won the Olivier Award this year, and I'm super proud of my work. I performed Nina Simone on stage, also a powerful black woman. Many people in the audience saw it, the performance. Wow, what a time for my career at the moment. So it's nice to see with you guys here, new generation of Royal Ballet. Take it, embrace it, and keep doing it. And I will keep doing it on this side as well, because there's lots of dance to do.
That's right, in all spaces. So this shift in ballet is extraordinarily generational. right? So you've got the older generation that holds ballet a certain way, and then there's your generation that is like, let's tear it all apart. Like, can you tell me, how are you feeling as a young ballet dancer? You've seen this sort of like opening up of the field. How have you experienced in your life, and what does your future feel like?
So I feel like starting my professional career at the time I have, it feels like there's much more openness and willingness to hear our side of the story and figuring out ways that we can come into work every day and do what we love in a way that's authentic to us, which is very individual for each of us, but it feels like now there's a lot more freedom to do that, and just a willingness to have that conversation, whether it's things in costume, wigs, shoes, tights, all of those things. They can be so small, but now they are being taken much more seriously instead of being seen as an afterthought, which they have been for a long time. So I think that just immediately makes me feel a lot freer in this space, and makes me feel like I don't have to assimilate to kind of have a successful career in this field.
Yeah, thank you for that. I mean, it all starts with the conversation, because back in my day, conversations were not even a possibility in the 1900s. Casper, we had the pleasure of getting acquainted when you were a think tanker for the Assemblée International conference that focused on anti-Blackness in ballet. Can you tell me a little bit about your experience working with those think tankers, and what was that group of dancers pushing for?
Yeah, so like following on from Blake really easily, I was fortunate enough to be a part of Assemblée Internationale, which is an initiative led by the National Ballet of Canada, and it brings together, I think it was 36 ballet and dance schools and companies from around the world. And this year, the focus was anti-Black racism in ballet. And when planning the event, they really wanted to have a student voice leading it for the first time. Every time it had been done previously, it had been led by the ballet administration, and the students, even though it was an event for the students, didn't have any say in how it was run or organized. So I was lucky to be one of the 7 students, and we basically had the privilege of planning the event, and that, for us, some of the really important things that we wanted was, it was essential that we had education. So leading up to AI, which was in May, we had, I think, 7 or 8 Zoom meetings with various different educators, such as Teresa, and creatives like Alonzo King or Benoit Swan-Pouffer, all of these various different artists. And they gave these Zoom lectures, and we interviewed them and kind of picked apart their brains about their knowledge and history. And we took that all to AI, and we used it basically to spend a week really looking at what the problems are within ballet and where we want to go, even if it's just baby steps, little things that we can work towards. And we really came away from that week with a sort of plan that is slowly, but working its way to a more inclusive and diverse space for young people, especially entering their careers.
I love it, thank you. So we call activating your activism. And so I want to finish with Rebecca, who is a fellow Yank from DC, correct? Okay, so we talk a lot about the lack, right, of Black ballet dancers, specifically female ballet dancers, specifically brown ballet dancers. But tonight, right, here we saw Celine, we see Precious, we see Isabella, in the company we have Francesca Hayward, there's also Marcy Samba, there's a breadth, right, there's an arc, a spectrum. When you think about your future in ballet as a Black ballerina, how do you feel now?
Well, I'm truly blessed to be in this company. It's been my dream for such a long time. And it's kind of proof that all of the hard work that I've put in has really paid off. And it hasn't always been easy, but I can now say that it has been worth it, for sure. I think it is really surreal to suddenly be in such close proximity with people you've looked up to for years, and you could only see on a screen an ocean away. So it is really, really surreal to now be in this space, but I'm really, really inspired. And I'm really encouraged by the amount of young professionals who are joining professional companies like ourselves and who are kind of becoming a part of that next generation. And I just hope that we can now serve as inspiration and role models to those who come after us, just as we were inspired by those who came before us. So yeah, truly blessed to be here.
Yes, you are not unicorns. You are not by yourselves. In this particular space and in the Ethernet, you are not by yourselves. This has been a really wonderful, wonderful evening. Sadly, we have run out of time. I have to say good night to you, but I want to encourage you to check in and see, well, Legacy unfortunately is sold out, but it does open October 29th and runs to the 31st, but you might have an opportunity to see Black Generations in the future here in the Claw. Yeah, I want to thank you from the Royal Ballet and Opera. My name is Teresa Ruth Howard. Thank you very much.